Welcome to Oddball. I'm Charlotte Wilder. That's Amin Elhassan, who started choking right before we started the show, so he's drinking some water. Amin, we're in Boston. It's the finals.
You know how I know we're in Boston? Because we have that leprechaun or whatever, that Irish fellow right there behind you holding a beer.
Yeah. Not because we're in the DraftKings studios, which we love very much.
But, and it has beer.
And they do have beer, but because of the leprechaun, Celtics are in the finals, playing the Mavericks. Everybody knows this. And to celebrate, we actually had a very special guest on, J.J. Barea.
Oh.
Who won? Yeah, you were there.
Oh, yeah.
He won a championship with the Mavs in 2011, and he was a delight to talk to. So check it out.
JJ, thanks for joining us on Oddball. I think basically the first question I would say is, where are you watching the NBA Finals from?
Hey, thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm in Puerto Rico. I'm home and in Puerto Rico. But I'll watch the first couple games over here, and then I'm gonna fly to Dallas to catch for sure Game 3, maybe Game 4.
JJ, are you excited to be back in that environment for finals? Obviously you're rooting for the Mavs, right?
Oh, no question. I'm rooting for the Mavs. I'm
just making sure.
For some reason, I'm getting a little nervous too. Like, I don't know why. Like going to Game 3 over there, like having all those feelings come back, is gonna be a lot of fun. So I'm excited for the whole fan base and all my friends and all my family that I built up in Dallas in my career. So I know they're enjoying this, and I'm excited to go watch a game over there.
Is everybody returning? They're bringing back all the guys from the championship team?
I'm sure they're trying. They're trying to get everybody back together for Game 3, for sure. So it'll be so exciting to say hi to all my teammates from especially that 2011 championship.
JJ, are you guys all still close? Do you stay in touch?
Well, me and Dirk, that's my guy. So me and Dirk stay in touch a lot. We joke around a lot with the team, with the new team, and all stuff. Everything that goes on in Dallas. Jason Terry, Tyson Chandler, the Matrix.
Yeah.
Those guys, J Kidd, those 6 guys I stay in touch with the most.
All right, so you played with all those guys. You played with J Kidd, you played with Dirk, but you also played with Luka. A lot of people may not remember that you were there at the beginning of his career. And so, having played with both Dirk and Luka, what are the similarities and what are their differences?
Similarities, they're the best competitors I ever played with. They want to play against the best. They want to beat the best. They show up when the light is the brightest. They want to show up. They want to help. They love to see their teammates do really good. That's something what Dirk was really special at. Nobody's better at that than Dirk, making sure his teammates are doing really good and everybody's good to go. But yeah, just talented guys. Love to compete, and Luka is just, Dirk is a 7-footer, ultimate shooter, and then Luka he just has everything. He has the size, the strength, the dribbling, both hands, every type of shot. So yeah, it was me and Dirk really competed for a bunch of years. Luka, I only got to hang out with him a couple of years, but it was good for Dallas that they got Luka right after Dirk. So, yeah.
Yeah, that worked out well.
Yeah.
JJ, obviously they've got Luka and Kyrie and the superstars. Dwayne Wade told Shannon Sharpe after you guys won the finals that Miami just did not have an answer for you, and that you were the person who really changed this series. Who do you see on the Mavs who could be the JJ Barea of 2024? Like, who's the X factor this year?
Oh, that's a great. What I always tell everybody is like, and what my mindset was in 2011. I was like, I know if I do really good and if I'm super aggressive and I do my part, I know we're winning, because I know like Dirk and the stars are going to do their job. So it depends on the role players. Like if Washington, Gafford, I think Hardy. If Hardy comes in the game, and gets 3 or 4 buckets randomly, I think that's the X factor for Dallas right there. It's somebody that comes, and I think Hardy comes to the game with a lot of energy, really aggressive, and if he gets hot, it's a plus for the Mavs.
Another similarity is with the lob threats for Gafford and Lively. You guys obviously had Tyson Chandler. That was a very successful connection that you guys had in your championship team. Tyson works, I believe, with Lively a lot and helping them kind of figure those things out. As a guard, when you're coming when you're attacking, what are you looking for in order to set that lob play up?
Man, Tyson was one of the best at that. And I knew when they traded for Gafford and they had Lively already, that's all Luka wanted, because it creates. You use the pick and roll, and then you're playing 2-on-1. You got your big guy rolling, and then you got the layup. So first you start the game looking for lobs, and then you're gonna get easy layups because the big guy's not gonna come at you. So you're really looking at the big guy. You're looking at the big guy if he's coming or if he's staying back. So some games you're gonna have to look for your shot more than others, and some games the lob is there more than others. So it depends on how the big guy's gonna play you.
JJ, how do you think the Mavs and the Celtics match up against each other? Obviously, the last 2 teams standing, they both looked pretty dominant throughout. How do you see these 2 teams? What do you think is going to be the biggest issue for the Mavs when it comes to the Celtics?
Well, I think the Celtics defensively are going to switch a lot with the Mavs, so you're not going to have that many lobs to the big guys rolling. So it's going to come down to a lot of one-on-one isolations. Hopefully the ball doesn't stick that much with the Mavs. But what Kyrie and Luka are known to make tough shots, especially at the end of the games. So I think that helps. But with the Celtics, what scares me is like they got 5, maybe 6 players that could give you 20 points every night. So that's the thing, that they got White, Tatum, Brown, KP, Horford. They got a bunch of guys that could give you 20 points. So that's the only thing that scares me a little bit.
You played with Porzingis when he was in Dallas as well. How do you think they're going to attack him, given that he's coming back from that calf injury?
Well, they're definitely going to attack him, especially they're going to put him to play guard pick and rolls. He's going to have to guard isolations. But I think Porzingis he's a vet now. I think he's been through it all. I think he's ready for the moment. But yeah, he's definitely going to have to get some stops and play defense because they're really going to attack him.
What is it like playing the Celtics in that arena? How does that compare to? No, look, JJ, I have to be honest with you. I may or may not be a Celtics fan, so not to put us on opposite sides of the spectrum here, but I'm just curious. What is that vibe like?
So I went to school in Boston. I went to Northeastern.
That's right, Northeastern.
So I went to a lot of Celtics games when I was there, and it was, even when the Celtics were bad at those times, it was the crowd was. It's intense. It's an old school building. The fans are aggressive. It'll be loud in there. It's not a shooters gym. I think it's not great for shooters. It's not bad either, but it's not like one of the best. So yeah, but I think I know Luka's gonna love it. I don't know how it's gonna go with Kyrie. But I know Luka's gonna love the playing in Boston.
Well, speaking of Luka, like you said earlier, you saw him at the beginning, and you see what he is now. Can you describe what your first impressions were the first time you played basketball with him, and how much has he grown in that time?
Well, the first time I played against him, it was pickup games in Dallas before preseason, and I was like, yeah, he's big, but he's a little slow. I don't know. I was guarding him, and I was like, "Oh, maybe he's good." And then when the lights came on, I was like, "Oh, he's really good." But no, I knew he was going to be good. I didn't know he was going to be this good. But he likes to compete, and I think every year you see him, he gets better. He gets better at getting his teammates the ball in better position, at passing the ball a little bit more. And I think he's ready. I think he's ready for this moment, and he knows if they want to win, that his teammates got to play really good. So he knows he's got to help his teammates out.
I got one last question. I'm sorry. So Kyrie is, like you said, he's going to get a reaction from this crowd that's going to be pretty intense. You were also a guy in your career that you got under people's skins, opposing fan bases. They didn't like you. What's that like when you go into a road building and everyone's like, fuck that guy?
Well, you got to depend on your teammates a lot. And I think the good thing about this situation with Kyrie's in a good place right now. He's enjoying basketball. He's enjoying his teammates. He knows the Dallas Mavericks got his back, the fan base, the owner, the coaches. So I think he's ready for whatever Boston Celtics fans throw at him. I think he's going to stay relaxed and he's going to play his game. So I think he's in a good place. But there's nothing better. There's nothing better in basketball than going to Miami on Game 6 and winning over there is nothing better in the world. So I think they're going to enjoy it.
Thank you, JJ, for the time. Now, Amin, I'm sort of an emotional wreck about this. So what is your prediction for what's going to happen? Because my head is not level enough right now.
For game one, so I think the Celtics are going to win. I think the Mavs have lost game one of every single series other than the conference finals.
Oh, that's right.
So this isn't like their strong suit. I do think we're going to get a great game out of Kyrie Irving, who's going to be fueled off the crowd.
Yeah.
But I give the Celtics game one, not just because they're at home, not just because the Mavs lose game ones traditionally, but also because they've been here before. Tatum and Brad, they've been to the finals, and I know Luka Doncic is all cool and stuff, but and Kyrie Irving obviously has been to the finals a couple of times. Mm-hmm. Everybody else on that team is pretty much inexperienced. So I'm gonna lean towards a more experienced team to take game one.
I don't hate that. Stick around because we got some fun stuff coming next. Welcome back to Oddball. I mean, we're in Boston. It's the finals. We got a lot to talk about, but there is something else we have to talk about it because it's in our contractually obligated,
Yeah, it's our contractually obligated contract.
There it is.
Straight from the redundancy department.
Yes, of redundancy, yeah. And it's actually under the LeBron category. It's a clause beneath it. It's the Lakers head coaching position. Everyone's like, oh, it's J.J. Redick's job. Mm-hmm. Well, today comes out that as of this taping, Dan Hurley, the head coach of UConn currently, has been the Lakers' number one choice this whole time. Lot going on here. What's happening in this pea soup of news?
And P is spelled P-E...
You said
A? Well, okay. Okay, so this is one of my favorite things that what's going on? We have these conflicting reports. I'm like, because this isn't news. Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong. Whoever gets the Laker job, that's going to be interesting. But, telling me who gets the Laker job right now does not materially alter my life in any way over the next couple of months or whatever. Because in a world with no press releases and no press conferences and no newsbreakers, we'd find out when.
Oh, when he's coaching the Lakers.
Yeah, Dan Hurley is the coach of the Lakers. Right?
Oh, wow, he's at the training facility.
Right, so it's just like this rush to get something out there without confirmation. It's ridiculous. It's just an exercise in futility. But I do find it hilarious. Yeah. In 2004, the Lakers interviewed Mike Krzyzewski, the great college coach, and he turned them down. Okay. And then in 2014, 10 years later, they interviewed Roy Williams, the great college coach. And
Roy Williams, they went after Roy?
They did, and he turned them down.
I forgot about that.
And so now here we are 10 years later, 2024, they're going after Dan Hurley, and it's like, every 10 years, the Lakers get rejected by a great college coach.
Yeah, the best coach. They go to him and they're like, you want to come here? And they're like, nah, I'm good. Also, I could see a world in which Danny Hurley is like, nah, I'm good. Because when people were linking him to the Kentucky job after Cal left, he was like, I just got my wife closer to New Jersey. Granted, it's the Lakers. I understand the lights are bright. You kind of got to do it. Sort of be a baller move to turn that down. There are a lot of people, though, whose feelings might be hurt by this, and we need to hype them up.
Do we?
We are going to do a hype me up because we haven't in a long time. Okay. And I'm going to start by hyping up podcasters. Because, listen, JJ and LeBron have a podcast together. And even if, first of all, this isn't news yet. Danny Hurley doesn't have the job.
Yeah.
It could still be JJ's. And that means that you, who have a basketball podcast with 30 subscribers, there's hope for you too.
Yeah, I mean, look, everyone in between, right? Like us, I guess, Bill Simmons, all the guys over
I could be the head coach of the Lakers.
Zach Harper. Imagine Zach Harper, the coach of the Lakers.
Wow.
Imagine the movie clip they'd show before every game. I'll tell you who I'm going to hype up.
Who?
I'm going to hype up UConn fans, like our good friend Mike Schur, who is a UConn fan despite I'm fairly sure did not go to UConn, but that's all UConn fans,
Listen, he's
right?
from Connecticut.
Yeah, whatever.
This is all we have in New England, I mean.
But this idea that like you're living in this golden era of
professional sports teams.
Connecticut basketball, and then it could be all dashed to dreams. The only way it could be better is if Dan Hurley gets the job and says, my lead assistant, Gino Auriemma. Then Mike Schur's world would crumble.
Oh my God.
To be the Lakers head coach?
Too many people I know would fall apart. Although, if Danny Hurley left, could his brother Bobby Hurley, who is currently the coach of the Arizona State Sun Devils, what if he goes to UConn?
I'm Bobby Hurley for a hype me up also.
Bobby,
dude is like,
you're doing amazing, man.
I played in the league. I was like, that's my brother. He wasn't even good enough to play in the league. I played in the league.
Yeah, give Bobby Hurley the Lakers head coaching job.
JJ,
anyway,
Redick?
Oh, JJ, you're doing amazing, man. Yeah. Whether you're the head coach or not, your life is awesome.
All right, so Charlotte, let me throw some at you.
Okay.
Okay, because I think you're better at some of these than I am. Grant Williams.
Oh.
Grant Williams, this is not about the Lakers job, but we're just going into general hype me ups now. Grant Williams played for the Celtics last season and played for the Mavericks this season. Both teams kind of said thanks, no thanks. And now here they are playing in the finals against each other. Hype up Grant Williams.
Grant, my dude, listen, you think they get there? Sorry, I'm going to do this with a straight face. You think they get there without you? You were a key part of this. You were a key part of the Celtics team in 2022. And I was that went to the finals. And when they got rid of you, I was like, I don't know. We need that dog. You also did instigate Jimmy Butler into having one of the best series ever, which was questionable decision. But listen, you were here. You were part of the team. You were also in Dallas until the trade deadline. So technically, you could win a ring with Dallas. If Dallas decides to give Grant Williams a ring, Grant Williams gets a ring. Also, more important than all of this, you were a speaker at the Middle Tennessee High School Sports Awards coming up. And that's a big stage, too. And people need to pay attention to that. So Grant...
Such a big stage that Charlotte had to check the copy, like Middle Tennessee.
I just want to be sure I got it right. It's a lot.
It wasn't even Tennessee, just Middle Tennessee High. Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, now it's your turn. You have to hype up Jabari Smith Jr. I wasn't aware that the former very high draft pick, currently with Houston, I didn't know that this young man needed hyping up. But he asked, just what? Take a look at this.
What would you say to somebody going into their third year who hasn't really lived up to the expectation that has been set on him? What would you say to somebody going into that?
How old are you?
21.
21. I've been in that situation. Everybody else in the world that's your age that's 21 is still probably in school trying to figure out what they want to do in life.
Oh, Jabari.
All right, so first of all, he asked that question like he's a camper. You ever see the camp and they got like, we got Jason Tatum coming to camp today, and he raises his hand like, what would you have to?
Cute.
What advice would you give to whatever? And then I was like, Jason Tatum thought about, I was in the same position. No, the f you weren't. At 21, everyone was like, oh my God, this guy was clearly the best guy in his draft.
Yeah,
like he's balling out of control, man. Like this is actually the harshest criticism era of his career right now.
Yeah.
Everything has been a smooth sail since then. So, like, if I was Jason Tatum, I would be like, hey, wouldn't be me, kid. Ha ha. And just drive off like in a Ferrari or something.
I was also like, why is Jabari Smith at media availability? He's like a part of the NBA players correspondent.
They always do this every year.
But I was like, oh, okay.
I like Jabari Smith Jr. I like him as a player. I think he's a good kid. But man, like, get out of here, man. Asking them camp questions and media availability.
I thought it was endearing and cute.
Sure.
All right. Well, that was a terrible hype me up. That wasn't a hype me up at all. You just hyped him down.
All right.
But let's
give me another shot.
I'm going to give you another shot. Matthew Tkachuk, the Florida Panther, who I've heard a lot about because of our time on the Dan Levitar show. Look, he is from St. Louis, and he should be the coolest guy from his high school right now.
He's going to the Stanley Cup Finals.
He's playing in the Stanley Cup Final, and the only problem is that Jason Tatum is also from his high school.
No way.
Yes, here's evidence.
My name's Jason Tatum, and one reason I came to Chaminade was because of sports, mainly basketball. Another reason why I came to Chaminade because of the great people and great fans like Graham Niemeyer, Jack Sponer.
I love basketball.
Novelli, and Matthew Tkachuk.
Okay, that's crazy. So, I mean, you have to hype up Matthew Tkachuk, the second coolest athlete from Chimandi? I don't know.
Chaminade.
Exactly as I said. Preparatory school.
Commandy, you came and you played in the Stanley, but the NBA Finals is bigger and better. Oh, man. You thought, you walking around in Miami and everyone's like, yeah, you go ahead. In Miami, he's fine because everybody hates Boston anyway, so there's no problem there. Yeah. But when you go home, ain't nobody talking about this. They're all talking about the NBA Finals because the NBA Finals is what matters. You know what? I want to be Jason Tatum again in my Ferrari and say, oh, by the way, like pull up and reverse, come back to Matthew Tkachuk and to you. Oh, have fun being like the other day games or whatever and just peel off, man.
Dude, what are you doing? You're not hyping anybody up.
I'm hyping myself up right now. I'm hyped.
God, this is a disaster of a segment.
Look, I hope the Florida Panthers win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, aren't you a Panthers fan?
Big time Panthers fan. But I'll be honest.
All of 3 minutes.
I'm a bigger fan of Chaminade Prep basketball, not hockey.
I like Chaminade, so.
Oh, Commandy.
All right, well, now I'm going to hype someone up because you're so bad at this.
Okay.
Who is it?
Joe Mazzulla.
Oh.
Did you hear what he had to say? You know, like his media availabilities have been incredible.
Performance, like
every day.
Andy Kaufman.
Day after day after day. This is the latest one he had.
Okay.
Staying in the moment, doing the same things that go into winning from before. How do you do that now with the brightness of the lights, the bigger stage, and all this extra stuff?
Yeah, man, unless they change the light bulbs in the arenas, they won't be any brighter than they were in the last series.
All right, Charlotte, you got to hype up the guy who has to change the light bulbs in the arena.
Okay. I'm going to go out on a limb and say your name's like Sully.
Yeah.
Sully, my dude, listen, if you did change the lights in the arena, I'm asking you on behalf of everyone in Boston, don't tell Joe Mazzulla. Let him have his whole mentality. If it's just another game, it's just another possession. Let Jason Tatum be like, as long as we box out and do fundamentals and Jaylen Brown, just let him keep being like, it's just one other game. Let them keep thinking that. If you change those bulbs, no, you didn't. And also, Joe Mazzulla, you beautiful weirdo, how do you keep doing it? How do you one-up yourself every single time you get up to that press podium? I can't wait to see you in that interview room.
You better win every game. That's all I got to say.
That's how you do it. I mean, okay, well, speaking of bright lights, I'm going to give you one other chance. I don't know why. Yeah. Luka was asked about the pressure he faces of playing in the finals, and he said that he's faced tough crowds before. Here's what he said.
Is there one game or one place in particular in your whole career, NBA, international, that was the most rowdy environment that you can remember? What was the craziest?
Yeah, it was, I remember it was quarterfinals of EuroLeague against Panathinaikos. In Panathinaikos, the crowd went crazy, and they started winning 20-0. So imagine that.
If you're surprised by that answer, it means you have never seen European basketball. Look at what it's like there.
Yeah.
I mean, this is no joke.
Look, this is what we call American exceptionalism, where we think like we have the best of everything, including fans. Nope. Don't even measure up. You mean to tell me that Murph and O'Shaughnessy over here, drunk off their asses, could compete with what we just saw on that screen right there?
Well, now you have to hype up Murph and O'Shaughnessy. Who Luka doesn't think are as scary as European fans.
They're not. You know what, Murph and O'Shaughnessy, you don't have to be scary. You just have to be loud and not leave early like you did last time I was here.
This has been the worst hype me up.
I mean,
I've done an amazing job. You have been absolutely horrible. If you want to feel better, don't come to Amin Elhassan.
Charlotte was the one that was shitting on you guys. Charlotte and Donnie Wahlberg.
I was just saying, stick around. Stick around, no. Boston fans. Don't leave. If you leave early at the finals, I will hunt down each and every single one of you and give you a wedgie.
You know where they don't leave early?
I don't.
Panathinaikos.
Whatever.
Them were there all game long, even though they got their ass.
Next time we see you, we'll have a finals game to talk about. I can't wait. We'll talk to you tomorrow.